There's a necessity to be clothed. Fashion is a luxury idea, and to harm people or environments or planets to the extent that we are along the way for that industry, I don't think it's right. I'm Amy Powney, I'm the creative director of Mother of Pearl, and this is my fashion story. My parents sort of had the dream of living the good life, and we moved down to a piece of land that we had where my mum had a horse, and my dad decided to turn our barn into our home that we were going to live in. We lived in a caravan with no mains water, no mains electricity, and completely off-grid, so that was an adventure. It was a really good outdoor life for us. We had a gas bottle, sort of like if you go camping, that was the gas that would come into our caravan to sort of heat the stove up. Water was usually borrowed from friends until my dad himself sunk an actual well with a hand pump. And then electricity was just at the start a generator, so it's like a hand pull generator. So I think we were sort of allowed about half an hour TV or something every day. It's definitely character building, but I mean it was like an amazing experience. And I guess that's where a lot of my interest in sort of sustainability has come from. It's the idea of not having something, which has made me kind of be more appreciative of it, I guess, and more precious about it. I had a really wonderful time at university, and actually my best friends for life were all found at uni. Coming from the sort of village and probably being the only one that was off to London, I'm going to go and do fashion. It was really the first time I was like, okay, this is definitely like where I fit and where I want to be. Aesthetic wasn't really a thing in our house, but I think my interest in fashion actually came from not having branded, clothing that I was so desperate to have because the other kids at school had that. We really had like our school uniform, and then you'd have your weekend clothes. I'd buy like 3 things per year at that time. I can still remember all those garments because you didn't have the ability to just buy something new every week. That wasn't an option when I was a kid. And I remember that emotionally so sort of engaged to those things and being so excited and wearing it over and over and over again. Roll on today, we have clothing as and when we want it. We have a whole high street filled with fast fashion. We're consuming garments just at an incredible speed, and no one has really seen that as a problem, because everybody saw it originally as this real positivity of, you didn't have to have a lot of money to be able to look good anymore, which is an amazing concept and, something that was really liberating for a lot of people. But no one really considered that the speed in which that was growing was having such a drastic knock-on effect to the environment. People's relationships to garments is just so throwaway and so fast that we've lost that idea of really connecting and loving that thing that you purchased, So when you use the word sustainability, it's so broad. I was reading quite a lot up on the industry, and it was like an untouched subject. It's only now it's really come to the forefront. We've had a few bits and pieces along the way, but I feel like now is finally the time, that people are really starting to talk about it. Van, who's our machinist, who's still working here today, me and him would work together. So I would cut out the fabric and he would stitch the clothing. So yeah, it really was starting at the bottom. I became creative director and sort of took over part of the business. And it was really at that point I thought, okay, this is my time to actually instill some of those beliefs, to kind of go down the route I really wanted and start a journey into, could we make a truly sustainable product? There are so many elements to look at with sustainability. We really wanted to talk about that word, but to talk about that word we needed to look at so many different elements of the supply chain. And that comes from social responsibilities, so how are the workers treated, environmental aspects, just even the way we dye garments, the way we grow things, the pesticides involved, the chemicals involved. And then also there's the carbon footprint, and just in terms of the travel. So your garments, let's say it's a cotton garment, it's grown somewhere, somebody has to pick that crop, then it's spun, then it's woven, then it's dyed, then it's finished, then it's turned into a garment, might then be washed if it's denim again, then it goes somewhere else maybe to have its trims put on, and then it goes somewhere else. So we actually don't realise the complexity to one garment's lifespan before it even got to you. And the carbon footprint on that is huge, because it's travel from country to country to country. I have a filter now, which is a kind of guilt process in some ways, where I think about what am I doing and why am I doing it and do I need it? Or could I do it better? Or is there a more sustainable way to do it? And that's what makes it accessible to everyone. There are small things we can just do all the time that make the biggest changes, but saying that nobody's perfect. It's not about beating yourself up when you can't do it, it's just about really considering all the things that you do before you do them and deciding whether you need them, you want them, and what the impact of that's going to be. And that's truly the way I feel like we should promote what we do, and how consumers should engage with it is to actually feel positive about what we can do rather than dwell on what we can't do or what we have already done. It's really like a mindset. It's not just about a buzzword or a fad. Sustainability is a lifestyle. Once you do get the sort of knowledge, it's just an unravelling effect that it has on you as a human, and that's the way real change can happen, because I think it then infiltrates like every single part of your life. It's really exciting because the buzz has started happening. It's actually become a public topic. I honestly think sustainability, sort of in the dictionary term, should just mean the intention to try and be better.